Imagine this scene with me. Vast plains. Central Europe, 10,000 years ago. Fog covers the grasslands up to the knees. The sun rises slowly, and from within the fog, a massive creature appears. Its back stands 2 meters above the ground. Its horns curve like crescents, each 1 meter long. Its black eyes carry a primal caution. The caution of a being that knows no submission. This is the wild aurochs, the largest mammal in Europe, the strongest, the most stubborn. It was not prey. It was a force of nature walking on 4 legs. And thousands of kilometers away, in the Fertile Crescent, humans were living a life that could not have continued without it. For decades, scientists believed cattle were domesticated in only one place, but genetics revealed the truth. Cattle were domesticated at least twice. The first time, around 10,500 years ago, in the Fertile Crescent, that land stretching from Mesopotamia to the Levant, humans living by hunting and gathering began noticing something strange. The wild aurochs came to the same pastures in the same seasons. It followed a pattern. It could be predicted. And more importantly, its young followed their mothers. This was not just an animal. This was a social system. Here lies the difference between cattle and other domesticated animals. The chicken came for food. The dog came for companionship. But cattle? Cattle came because humans saw something else in them. Power. Imagine a Neolithic village. 20 people, digging the earth with sticks, planting the wheat they had only just begun to cultivate. They needed a month to plow a single plot of land. Then the ox arrives, a plow tied to 2 massive horns, a plot of land plowed in a single day. This was not just an animal. This was a machine that needed no fuel, a machine that produced its own food, a machine that reproduced. And humans, who lived on the edge of famine, understood the deal. But the deal was not easy. The wild aurochs was not a chicken. It did not run when it saw you. It attacked. Stone Age records are full of human bones, bearing fractures caused by impacts from horns. The domestication of cattle did not begin with taming. It began with fighting. The first generations of domesticated cattle were smaller, less aggressive, but they never lost their strength. And as they multiplied, humans inherited something they never expected: milk. Pause here. Take a breath. Because what comes next will change how you understand human history. Before cattle, there was no milk for adult humans. Humans, like all other mammals, lose the ability to digest lactose after weaning. But cattle changed the rule. In those villages that raised cattle, a genetic mutation began to spread slowly. A mutation that allowed adult humans to drink milk. This means cattle did not just change our food. Cattle changed our bodies. Generations of humans evolved, literally, to accommodate this animal. Today, 2/3 of the world's population carry this mutation. They can drink milk. But imagine, without cattle there would be no cheese, no butter, no yogurt, no ice cream. The civilization we know, its breakfast, its sweets, its food culture, all depend on a human decision, made 10,000 years ago to keep a massive bull alive. From the Fertile Crescent, cattle spread like wildfire. In ancient Egypt, the goddess Hathor had the head of a cow. The cow was the divine mother. Milk came from the body of a god. In India, the cow became sacred, not because it was an animal, but because it was the single symbol of life itself. It gave food without dying. It plowed the land. It produced fertilizer. In Rome, the bull was a symbol of military power. It was sacrificed before major battles as an offering to the gods. And in Central Europe, owning a cow meant one thing. You were not poor. The cow was the bank. It was insurance. It was a pension. If you fell ill, you sold a cow. If you married, you gave a cow. If you died, your children inherited your cow. But the real transformation, the one that made cattle what they are today, began only 300 years ago. Before that, cattle were slow animals. It took 4 years to reach slaughter weight. They produced milk seasonally. They needed wide pastures. Then the Industrial Revolution arrived. Suddenly, the cow was no longer just an animal. It became a production unit. Selective breeding began at a frantic pace, choosing the largest bulls, the highest yielding dairy cows, the ones most tolerant of indoor conditions. And today, imagine this number. At this very moment, there are 1.5 billion cattle alive on planet Earth. But this number hides the truth. The modern cow is not your grandmother's cow. A modern dairy cow produces in 1 year what a 19th century cow produced in 10 years. A modern beef steer reaches slaughter weight in 18 months. In nature, it needed 5 years. And the size of the modern cow, due to selective breeding, has tripled compared to its wild ancestor. But here lies the question no one wants to ask. Where is the wild aurochs? That massive creature with curved horns. The one that attacked instead of running. The one that crossed the European plains like a king. It is gone. The last wild aurochs died in Poland in 1627. It was not killed in battle. It was not hunted. It died alone in a forest. And a species that had lived for 1,000,000 years came to an end. We did not merely domesticate cattle. We replaced them. We replaced that wild, stubborn creature with a machine for milk and meat. We replaced its curved horns with square bodies. We replaced its freedom with endless productivity. And the question is, was this progress? Every time you drink milk, or eat meat, or wear leather shoes, you are benefiting from a deal that is 10,000 years old. A deal started by humans living on the edge of famine. A deal deepened by civilizations that made the cow a god. A deal transformed by the Industrial Revolution into an assembly line. And today, we stand at its final stage. We produce more milk than we need. We raise cows on farms that never see the sun. We feed them with feed made from crops grown on cleared forests. The cow that was once a symbol of life has become a symbol of consumption. But despite everything, despite industrial farms, selective breeding and staggering numbers, the cow has not completely lost its spirit. Go to any small farm. Look at a cow grazing in a meadow. You will see her raise her head between the grass, breathe the air, move slowly, that slow pace of a creature that neither chases nor is chased. You will see her calf running around her without purpose. You will hear her low with a deep sound that shakes her chest. This sound, this lowing, is the same sound Stone Age humans heard when they woke on a cold morning 10,000 years ago. A sound that says, I am here, I give, I remain. Every time you drink milk, you are not just drinking a liquid. You are drinking 10,000 years of decisions. A hunter's decision not to kill the massive bull. A farmer's decision to tie it to the plow. A priest's decision to make it a god. A scientist's decision to multiply its production. And your decision, right now, not to think about the price, but about the story. But the wild aurochs, that massive king, is no longer there. It died alone in a Polish forest 400 years ago, while we built a world of 1.5 billion cattle, a world that revolves around milk, meat, and leather. And the question, the only question worth pausing for, is this: who enslaved whom? Are we, the ones who control the lives of these creatures, the winners? Or is it them, the ones that changed our bodies, our genes, our culture, and our economy, that won the deal? Perhaps the truth is, we never domesticated cattle. Perhaps cattle domesticated us. If this video changed how you look at the glass of milk in your hand, hit the like button and tell me in the comments, is the cow a domesticated animal, or is it a force of nature that used humans to ensure its own survival? And if you are the kind of person who likes to understand the world around you, subscribe, because every story you eat carries a story, and the stories to come are deeper than you can imagine.